Good morning. I wanted to take a few minutes to go over some of the technology enhanced questions that we're seeing on the practice milestones. I want to ensure all of your students know how to answer the question. And if they miss a question, it's not because the students didn't know how to actually answer the question within the platform. And so for this, I'm going to be using the gaexperienceonline.com. And so I just went to gaexperienceonline.com. From here, I am going to select test practice. And depending on what grade level you are, from here, you will select different things. So right now, I'm going to do end of grade online tool training. From here, it's not really intuitive of what you're going to click, but the EOG test practice. And I specifically want to do the technology enhanced items. Those are the ones we received questions on this week, and so I want to make sure I spend some time in there. Once I click on technology enhanced items, I'm going to click on all grades. Here it's going to give me a username and password to use. This is just a generic username and password that you can use as many times as you want to. All of the students will have the same username and password for it, but you're going to log in. From here, this is what it's going to look like when the students take milestones. And it will tell the test session name, the GTID number. This is just the made up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. When it's actually time to test, it'll be their information. From here, you've been scheduled. It gives you the name of the test again. You're going to click on it. These are the instructions that are going to pop up next. You can read these with your students. It's important to make sure they actually see the 3 different circles here so that they'll see all of the different layers within the test. I'm not going to read these because you can all read, but it talks about the different tools. Reviewing the test, ending the test, all more tools, pointer, cross off, line, highlighter, sticky note, magnifier, line guide, calculator, references, all the fun stuff. Begin the test. This is the part where some people are starting to get a little confused. It's different than it has been in the past. On this question, the students have the essay on the left screen, and the right screen is where they're going to put the answer. This says page 1 of 5. To get to the next page, you click on it. You click on the right side. You want to go back, you click on the left side. Nowhere does it say that, but I want to make sure you and your students know how to access it. So if you keep clicking on the right side, it's going to keep going forward. Click on the left side, it's going to flip back. When it's time for you to answer your question over here, click to respond, you'll click. And then this is pretty simple with a drag and drop. You literally click on it and you drag it to where you want it. If you don't want it anymore, if you click this eraser button, it's going to reset all of them and you can start back from scratch. When your student's done with that, they'll click next. Some of these are super intuitive. You'll literally take the answer and you'll put it in it, and then you'll describe it. So some of them super intuitive, but make sure your students know how to do that. This next one's just a drop down. You'll literally click on the arrow and it's a drop down, and they'll pick whatever answer they feel is best. Same thing with this one. Read the paragraph the students identify, move the 2 ideas. You'll move 1. I'm not reading these, so this could very well be the wrong answer I'm moving. And then you'll move a second one. If you try to change the answer, like if you decide it doesn't need to be millions of people travel to Africa, it needs to be some of these animals include. If you put it on there, it's going to automatically replace it. This is another one, drag and drop. You'll literally pick up the word and you're going to put it where you want it to go. Same thing with this. You'll pick it up and put it where you want it to go. It'll, when it's reached its limit to how many it can accept, it's going to replace it. Same thing with this one. This one will allow you to put as many. If all of these are rhombuses, you can put them all in there. But it asks for the one that best describes it. When it gets to math, which is where the most people seem to have trouble this week with their practice test, is making sure they know where to click. On this one, you're going to click above the word. So if you think the answer is 3, you're going to click above it. If it's 9, same thing with black, blue. So you'll click above it. If you want it to go down, you just click it again and it'll go down. This is the first question that students ran into in which they really didn't know what to do. Because if you're looking, it says create a rectangle, so it's also a rhombus. A point representing one corner of the rectangle is already drawn. You see the line right here in the top of the screen. And so you think you can do something, but when I'm clicking on the screen where I want the line to go, nothing is happening. And it really frustrated a large number of our students because they weren't exactly sure what to do. But if you click on the arrow next to the line and select the line, then you're going to be able to actually, you have to do it correctly. Line is too short. There, you can actually draw it. I'm not drawing this correctly, but I want to make sure you see that you can draw it. You click on it. It only allows so many. If they mess up, they can click the start over button. But you can actually click and go through it. I would encourage you, even if you've already completed the official practice test, to go through the gaexperienceonline.com at least one more time, specifically math teachers, to make sure your students know how to answer the questions. They're going to miss something. I want them to miss something because the question is hard or they don't understand it versus they don't know how to physically put the answer on the screen. So for this one, they just need to make sure, even though the line is already shown, that they click on the drop down and they select the line. Drag each fraction to its correct place. You'll click on the fraction itself and you'll drag it to where it goes. That one's pretty simple. Weather service rainfalls for 7 days in the month of March, plot the points. For this one, again, it doesn't say specifically, but if you just click on the graph, that's where it's going to go. If you click on it again, it goes away. So for this one, they wanted a half, 1, and then a half, and then 3/8, 3/8, 3/4, 1/2. So you literally just click above it wherever you want it to go. If you accidentally clicked and you don't want it, then you click on it again. Same thing with this one, except for if you try to erase one that you shouldn't, it tells you it can't be removed. This screen right here shows a calculator per se with it. So the students, when their cake recipe calls for 2/4 cup of butter and frosting recipe calls for 1/4, how many cups of butter make both? They'll actually use the fraction function and you'll click the fraction and then you can do the numerator and then you can do the denominator, but not like that apparently. So I just want to encourage you to take opportunities with your students to actually practice these, because some of them are a little harder than others to use, and I don't want someone to get frustrated and not know how to answer the question. So allow them opportunity in class to actually go through how to answer some of these math questions. I know you've taught them the material that's going to be on the milestones, but some of the functions of the platform itself are different than what you've been using, and I just want to make sure there's no confusion there. This is another one. You see the dot already up, or the point already up there, the closed point, but you have to select it in order to plot your point. You can't just automatically. If you haven't selected anything, you're not going to be able to function on this screen. Move the numbers in the boxes to show the temperatures from coldest to warmest. This one, they're just going to select them and drag them. Some of them are a little more intuitive than others. I know elementary school teachers, this definitely not one of your standards. I know that, but I just want to make sure you can practice. You click on different parts and then you can move them where you want them to go. That is one thing Mr. Deloach talked to the state about, and I will as well, making sure these practice tests are aligned to grade specific, because I know the point of this is to allow the students to practice the different tools, but seeing a problem that is so far out of their realm of knowing what to do, it loses some of the effectiveness of practicing. Same thing with the number line with this one. Elementary school, this is definitely not part of what you need to do. But in order to function, you'll actually just pick it up and move it. And if you want to pick a different one, it'll replace it. Some of them, super simple. All you've got to do is select what it is. A little pencil shows up. Now, earlier in here, we had a question that had a graph, and you clicked on the blank space. On this one, you're literally going to be clicking above the word, which happens to have the lines. The previous question we had like this didn't have the lines, but blue was 3, and so blue, we go up to 3. Red is 1, so you go up to 1. If you don't like it, you can move it back down and start over. Graphic system align, the same thing. Right now I'm clicking and I haven't selected anything up here from my menu, and so nothing is going to function. If I want to be able to actually draw the line, which elementary school people, I know this is not applicable to you, but middle and high, this could be, or middle, this could be applicable to you, 8th grade. So you'll click on it and then you'll select the line. I know it still looks the same, but now I can actually make a line on my page. And then if I want to put where they intersect or put a point, you can put a point. But up here, you have to select what you want, even though there's something already selected. Some of the drop downs, you just click on it and you select the one you want. Move a value into each box. So this one, instead of students working out the problem, they're going to be dragging like meters to seconds. So you'll actually drag what you want in here. If you want to select, if you did the wrong one, you can replace it, or you can click the reset all. Part B works the exact same way. You want to do something, 1 gallon, 1 quart. Oh, that's not right. 1 gallon's really 4 quarts. You can replace it. The graph coordinate plane, graph a linear function, fx is -2. In order to graph it, even though it looks like this is already selected, you're going to have to click the arrow next to it and select the line in order to put the line on the answer sheet. That's not right, but you click it. You don't like it, you erase it or reset it. Same thing goes with this one. You have to actually select it in order to draw the line. This is another one with a little mini calculator function down here. Create a linear equation. So to do the equation, you're going to y equals or greater than, less than. You're going to put whatever you want to with it, but you have to get the equation based off of the table right here. English shown, what's the best measure? Some of them super simple. You literally just select. Student want to test several subjects, see if they're inside a conductor. You'll have to click to respond. So you physically click on it, and then you're going to move the ones that you want to move. This one had part A and part B. Click to respond. And you'll select it and move it. Once again, I'm not reading these, and so please do not think that I'm trying to give you the answers on this. I'm just showing you how it functions. Same thing with this. Experiment measuring. You have all the letters right here. You're going to put them in order for what is happening over here. If you put them in the wrong order and you're like, oh, I totally need to start over, you can click the eraser. If you know that that really shouldn't be Q, that should be R, then you'll replace it with the R. Once again, you're showing the screen is split, which is a lot of how milestones is going to be. The students will be looking on one side of the screen, whether it be in an English passage, a math question, and then they'll answer it on the second half of the screen. Same way, when you're ready to respond, you're going to click to respond, and you will drag the words that you want wherever you want them. Same thing with this. You'll pick the one you want and you'll drag it. It'll only accept one at a time. These are your drop downs. Anytime you see the box with a little arrow next to it, it implies drop downs. It's just more intuitive that you need to do it because it's blank. Whereas in the graphs, that already had something in there and these were blank. Another drag and drop, in which you have, it says move the place into the region. So you'll actually move them where you want them. Complete the diagram by moving 2 phrases. So it tells you need to move 2. It's not going to let you put them where it doesn't want it. Complete the diagram by moving and placing the appropriate phrase. Some of these, well, I know I keep saying this over and over, some of them are super intuitive and some aren't. So just want to make sure we're going over all of these practice ones with you. Same thing. There's 3. You can see how many there are. You can put it as many times as you need to. It kind of helps you out if you only get to use it once and need to use it once. It's only going to allow you to use it once. But sometimes it lets you do it multiple times. Click to respond, and then you will move the answers to where you want them. From this screen, just like it'll be for milestones, your students can review where they've missed. Oh, I forgot to answer part 1, and they can click on it and go back to it. You also, if you would have flagged a question, which I didn't flag any, when you get back to this end page, you're going to see a flag on it. This is a good screen to remind your students to check all their work, make sure they answered something. They might have thought they clicked it, but they didn't. And so this screen will allow them to check their work. From here, they can return to questions, which will take you back to here, or you can end the test. Are you sure you want to end the test? And they can return to review or submit. Once you click submit, you're done. I know I went through that kind of quickly, and I made this for you, the teacher, to be able to understand what your students are doing. I encourage you this week to actually go through gaexperienceonline.com with your students and answer any questions they might have on how to mark the answers. I know some of the content is not grade level appropriate. I do know that. But they can ask questions for, oh, I didn't really know how to do that. And you can show them on the smartboard how you answer the questions. So hopefully this video was useful. If you have any questions about it, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I hope you have a great day.